I'm building these cabinets on a separate toe kick base, which I built in another video, and I'll have a link in the description for that. Now to build these, I'm using pre-finished 3/4 inch birch plywood. My first step is determining my cabinet depth, which will be 24 inches, including the face frame. Now, in my corner here, I'm not going to have a corner cabinet. This is actually accessible from the other side, so I have to account for the toe kick depth and the face frames so I have room to actually open the drawers. But later in the video, I'll show how I worked around this. The first cuts I make are the sides, which will be 23 1/4 by 30 3/4 inches. And now the 23 1/4 inch cut is the second cut I make, because after this I cut the bottom at 23 1/4 by the width, which will be the width of the cabinet minus the sides. After this I cut stretchers, which need to match the width of the bottom. And this is why throughout this process, if I have two dimensions that are similar, I cut them at the same time as the table saw, so they are exactly the same. Now this really helps out when I assemble, because these stretchers actually help square up the box. The bottom and stretchers fit in between the sides of the cabinet. And all I'm doing for assembly is starting with some brad nails just to get everything aligned perfectly, and then after I get this all lined up, I then go and add some screws to strengthen up the entire cabinet. And the screws, along with the stretchers, help pull all the items together and square it up by itself. So, of course, you can go the more traditional route if you want, using dados and rabbets and all of that. But honestly, this is how a lot of professional cabinets are built, because it's effective and very fast. Now there's a couple things to point out about this first cabinet. First, there's 3/4 inch of space next to it. That's so the plywood in that space gives 1.5 inches for the face frame. Also, your cabinet on top of the toe kick should reach 34.5 inches, so the countertop at 1.5 inches will reach 36 inches. Going back to this corner, I built up some strips to allow room for the face frame, and this is important for a couple reasons. One is so I can actually screw the cabinets together, but also it allows me to open the drawers without the handles interfering with each other.